He throws it up, and the Germans have done it! They have stunned the United States in the semifinals!
The thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States?
World champions of what? That was Noah Lyles saying, you know, it kills him to hear that the NBA champions are the world champions, when in reality, you know, there's a lot of other countries out there that play good basketball and play other good sports as well. And I guess he was right, because Team USA gets defeated, eliminated by Germany, who's moving on. And this is a surprise for a lot of the basketball world. To me, it's not really a surprise, because if you look back at the previous FIBA World Cup, which was in China 2019, Spain took the gold, Argentina took the silver, France took the bronze, and the U.S. was eliminated that year. Let's see what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this today.
International competition is different, and the USA gets exposed because their lack of depth, their lack of cohesiveness, etc., compared to some of these other teams from these other nations, speaks volumes. And this is the latest example of it, period.
Like Stephen A. Smith said there, USA team got exposed. That's exactly what happened, lack of depth. Also, for me, I also think lack of star power. I mean, this was a pretty good team. If you look at the roster, you know, they got Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Paolo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton. And then they also have a lot of role players. Josh Hart, like Josh Hart's a good role player. Cam Johnson's a good role player. Brandon Ingram, he's a star in his own team. Jaren Jackson, he's, I would say, a role player. Austin Reaves, he's emerging, you know, in the NBA. Bobby Portis, definitely a role player. But I wouldn't say that you have the top tier, top quality players in the NBA in this roster. This is a solid team. I mean, this is a solid team that in the NBA would definitely make a run in the playoffs, but definitely not the star power that you have seen in previous teams. And at the same time, like Stephen A. Smith said, world competition, international competition is different rules. It's a different stage. It's a different style of playing. There's different rules around the rim. So this team is definitely not used to international playing. If you look at the lineup, it consists of a large amount of very young players like Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero, he's an amazing player. He has a bright future ahead of him. But has he played at this level of competition in his career? You know, same with Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton. All these are very good players, but they don't have that experience playing internationally. Another thing is that a lot of these teams, they're put together, the national teams from other countries, they're put together in a way that they're going to be together for a couple of years. Now, if you look at this team that the Team USA had with the previous Team USA, it's a totally different squad. That squad was Donovan Mitchell and Tatum and Jalen Brown. So none of these people are returning for this team for this FIBA World Cup 2023. So there's no continuation there. And what happens with the other teams, other nations, they have players that agree to multiple years to play for the FIBA World Cup for the national team. So all of these players coming together for Team USA, this is the first time they're playing together. This is the first time they're playing international competition. This is the first time for a lot of things for these players. So for people to expect for them to just come together and win gold at this FIBA World Cup, it's a little unreal. It's not just a little unrealistic. It is very, very unrealistic. And at the same time, you know, like I said, you don't have your Kevin Durant's, you don't have your Steph Curry's, you don't have a Kyrie on these teams. These are all very good players. But are any of these guys Hall of Famers? I feel like maybe the most talented one is Anthony Edwards, and even he has struggled in the NBA in the playoffs to get his team to advance in the playoffs. So for me, this is not a huge surprise. I kind of saw this coming. Real talk, when I first saw this lineup announced for Team USA, I looked at the squad and I saw a bunch of good players, but in my head I was like, this team is not winning gold. And I feel like a lot of people knew that. There was like jokes on the internet like, oh my God, you know, even the staff, the coaching staff is more talented than this team. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Grant Hill's in the coaching staff. He's one of the all-time greats. I wouldn't go that far because I feel like Anthony Edwards and especially Paulo Banchero are very talented. But I just knew this team did not have what it takes to win the gold because other teams in the world, they have a system. Like if you look at a team like Germany, they have a solid system. The only recognizable name in that team is Dennis Schroeder, but everybody else is kind of just like a role player that plays their role, and they're well coached, and this is a team that's been together for a long time. So like a team like Germany, even in soccer, they have a system. Germany is always good in all the sports internationally that they play. So when I saw that they were going up against Germany, I was like, this might be trouble, especially since they have been struggling in some of the previous games. I think this is a wake-up call for Team USA that they're gonna need a little bit more firepower going into the next international competition, and it's just a shame. And like Noah Lau says, they're not the world champs. If you want to say you're the world champs, you got to win the FIBA World Cup or the Olympics. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Are you surprised by this? What do you think Team USA needs to do to get a solid team in these competitions? And I'm very curious to know. I also feel, this is my hot take. I mean, this channel is called Hot Take. I feel like NBA competition with all the rule changes over the years has gotten a little bit soft. Some of the players have gotten used to some of these soft rules. You know, basketball is not what it used to be like in the 90s when there were like hard fouls and all that kind of stuff and like hand checking. The NBA has made it easier for players to score a lot of points, for team to score a lot of points. Even Luka Doncic said that the NBA is easier to score than in the European leagues. And this goes to show that Luka was right. And he also got eliminated. So this international competition is no joke. And this is a wake-up call for Team USA. You got to get it together. You're going to have to put together a better team next time. Leave me a comment, guys. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? This is Hot Take, because what I say is not always what people want to hear. My hot takes usually go against the current, against what most people are saying. So it's okay. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Leave me a comment, leave a like, a dislike. I don't care. See you guys later. Please subscribe to the channel. Peace.